Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of The New Abnormal. My name's Courtney Walker, Managing Director of YNR PR.
Hi, and I'm John Hendel, the Deputy Director of YNR PR. Great to see you guys today.
And we are here to talk about a very unique moment in time in the age of COVID-19. Because right now, probably more than any other time that I can think of in my professional career, where the general public, so people outside the healthcare sphere, are interested and invested in how drugs are made and that drug development process. Because all eyes are watching on the drugs that are, hopefully coming out of big pharma and biotech.
Yeah, and we hear time and time again, Courtney, I mean, we live it on a daily basis that, people are rightfully saying that drugs can be a little bit too expensive and they don't really know where all the costs go. And then the line that we hear time and time again is they go into research and development. And like you said, this could be a great time to pull back that curtain and really show what goes into it, who the scientists are, how people are working. I think some companies have done a good job of starting down this path, but now that people are fully vested in what it is and how it's going to impact them, it's not only about telling the story, but finding the right people to help tell that story on the company's behalf. And I think
That's
that's
right.
something that we wanted to talk a little bit about today.
Well, yeah. So John and I did a little thought experiment, sort of back in our own homes, where we said, okay, who would be great storytellers for this? Who could we bring together who is legitimate,
Right?
who is, pretty relatively well known, and who could weave together a story of, to sort of educating the public around how are drugs actually made, how, what is involved in it, what is the clinical trial process, et cetera, because that would be invaluable, not only so people can sort of understand and set the stage for what is coming, because we keep on hearing, oh, it's going to be 18 months from now. Maybe it's not, but even beyond COVID. So,
And I think
who,
along that line too, Courtney, like
yeah,
finding the right people who aren't going to get steamrolled during the conversation. They're not going to take the standard answer. They're going to really ask those questions and get answers in a way that we're all going to understand.
yeah, exactly. So, who I thought of was, which is kind of an off the wall, like ACT UP. ACT UP is an interesting organization because they started, with HIV in the very early days. They really ended up educating themselves, educating how drug development was made, educating, their own constituents in order to really kind of fight for the drugs that
Sure.
ended up saving their lives.
Sure. No, that's a great one. And I have to say, I tried to crowdsource it with my family, and the ones they came up with were like Kanye and Tom Hanks, which I thought was an interesting
I
one.
thought of Tom Hanks too.
Sorry, I
I
didn't mean to
thought
steal.
Tom Hanks would be
I didn't mean to
great.
steal it.
No, no,
And
no.
my daughter's a big Bill Nye the Science Guy. So it got me thinking too, and one that I think is really great, just because I love the way he tells a story. I love the way he can interact with just about anybody. Is Jon Stewart, and he's somebody that I think he's living on a farm now. He's raising animals or something. But I think he can really get to the crux of it. He can ask those tough questions, and I think he's got enough oomph to try to get some really high profile people
Oh,
on there
that's
as
cool.
well.
I was thinking the other group I thought was Johnson and Johnson.
Okay.
They're very well trusted from a pharmaceutical perspective. They are well known because they really do live in the consumer space,
Yep.
and I think it would. And they obviously come from a place of authenticity, so I thought they would be interesting as well. I didn't
No, that's
crowdsource them with my family.
that's a great one. Um, I mean, actually three others that sort of came up with. I thought maybe Megan Kelly. I mean, she's a reporter. She's now living in Montana. I found something that I think her son's music teacher passed away from COVID, so
Oh
she might
wow.
have a natural tie there. And then
Oh,
another one, why not shoot for the moon on this? Let's go for Michelle Obama and Laura Bush, two
oh,
former
that's
first
cool.
ladies. They've been involved in things before. They have a pretty good banter. Everyone knows who they are. I think they could ask the questions the right way. They could get on both sides of the aisle. Might be a way to really bring the message home there.
Yeah, my mashup was Vice News and Fox News.
Ooh,
Um,
Good luck.
You get those two guys in the same room, but honestly, I think that they both speak to two different constituents,
Yeah.
and it would be interesting. I mean, the fact is that there are certain parts of COVID that are not in dispute, and what is not in dispute, I don't believe, is how difficult it actually is to make drugs.
Right.
And how difficult the science actually is, and what the protocols are from a FDA perspective, just in the United States for starters. So, this might be an opportunity to get involved with almost strange bedfellows in order to really kind of tell this story.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great. And I think what would be great as a follow-up to this is if people have their own ideas to let us know. I mean, I think they can post it in on
They
the
can
channel
absolutely
somewhere,
post,
right?
Jon. Yeah.
So maybe just post and see what some solutions would be, maybe some wacky ones, and let's have a little bit of fun with this.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it, guys. We did our own thought experiment. We are interested in your thoughts as well. But have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.